great. It's great, yes. Stephanie pointed out, I am behind this morning.
Oops.
Aye, so good. Adam pointed it out too. And if you're just catching this 9:33, then you can point it out that I am a little bit off the mark this morning. It's summer and it's
With love.
fantastic. It's totally with love. It's taken with love. It's tremendous. Give yourself a minute. And so somebody had asked me recently, why do I do asana if I am interested and enjoy Kundalini yoga? And I think what happens is at the end of last week, I got busy, I got full. I could see all the great things that the week had entailed and were complete, and it was great. And I sat down and I was so scooty and so fidgety and just couldn't really feel where I had gotten to. And I got on my mat for 15 minutes and I was like, oh, what a great week I've had. What a remarkable series of events occurred. And that's why I do the yoga, to let the information all the way in, to let my whole system appreciate what we've been doing and why, and to feel that and then to know who I am from there. So this is just going to be a really clear, familiar, old school ride through the postures that we remember who we are and why we're here. And we'll land in a very simple kriya at the end to light it up. May we be guided, may we be held, and may we be blessed. Any music, set yourself up, make it happen. I miss it. I can't wait till we're back in a space where we can share that. But set yourself up if you choose. And then we'll start standing today. Blanket to the side, 2 blocks at the top and a strap where you can reach it. And we will just move and clear the way and remember. And just start with the swinging of your feet. Loosening from the hip to the heel. And as you do, find each one is an exhalation. Out and out and out. Set your gaze on one point so that it's as though your body is swinging around your gaze. That the gaze holds you, your hands drop, your heart is high, the leg is long. And stand more fully on the foot that's on the floor so that you can reach more fully all the way into the tips of your toes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Hands wide. Bring your right elbow to your left knee and tap and tap. So at the tap, that's your exhale, and you're drawing your navel to your spine. And it's a little bit of a rounding. And you're bringing your shoulder towards your hip. And then check out, am I opening my hands equally? Right? So Stephanie, raise your left hand a little higher. Yeah, so you're making this great V above you. 3, you feel the navel. 2, and change left elbow. Begin to bring your rib towards your hip that you could fold the center body a little more fully. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand wide. Notice from your navel. Notice from your navel. Call it up. Call it up. Call it up. Call it up. So that this center point starts to get a little higher from the navel. It rises into the solar plexus. Hands wide and hands to your hips. Put your heels under your hips. So you rest your right heel to the floor. Right knee comes up, wide, and tip of the toe behind you. Wide up and tip of the heel. Inhale as you take it back. And exhale as you take it forward. Good. How high can you bring your heel up into your body before you reach it out? So heel to the hip and then heel to the floor. Heel to the hip and then tip of the toe. One more. Ha. All the way around. And all the way forward and stay. So that when you notice the right side now is active front and back. Left heel, left knee, around to the tip of the toe. And tip of the heel. And start to find the rhythm that's in your movement. Tip of the heel. Now bring your heel a little higher and your knee a little wider. That you're waking up muscles you haven't used yet this morning. Draw your knee wide and back. One more. Tip of the toe and tip of the heel. And pause. Hands up high. As you fold, let your knees be soft. Hands down the backs of your legs. Rolling down. We're going to roll right back up. Up the backs of the legs. Sweeping wide. And we do 3 more folding. Unfold, sweep wide, rise tall. And down. Ooh. And up. Good. And down. Wag your tail, fingertips to the floor, hips shift side to side. Put a bend in your knees. Drop your head. And let yourself move a little bit, move a little bit. Knees bend, knees point forward, tail points back. Walk your hands to the right and let your hips shift left. Drop your head. Walk your left fingers a little further away from your feet. Drop your head, shift your hips back. Walk to center, hips side to side, drop your head more. As your hips begin to rise because your hamstrings open, lengthen from the back of your heel to the tip of your toe. And shift your weight to the right, your hands to the left, bend your knees. And explore right heel, right hip, right shoulder, right hand. Drop your head more. Drop your head more. Trust the weight of your body. Turn of the chin. And walk to the center, hips side to side. As you set back to hands and knees, add the blanket under your knees if you choose. And in your hands and knees, you'll find cat-cow, rounding your back, tucking your chin. Hips side to side right there. Fingertips pointing forward. Take that rounded posture and start to make a great circle with your hips. So circling the hips, just as we made single circles with one heel and then the tip of the toe, now we're using both hips to make the circle. Let the circle come into your ribs. And reverse your direction. Let the hip circles come all the way into the shoulders, into the hand, into the top of your head. 3 and 2. Find center, and now imagine you were inside a barrel and go around the barrel with your ribs so that you could find the rounding and then the left and then the arching and then the right. And you can go around and around inside this barrel of your ribs. Let your head move as it will. For 3. And for 2, where haven't you gone? What is unfamiliar in your body? Bring it into what is yours. Reverse your direction. And when we can move into ways that are a little unfamiliar, we can access parts of us that haven't been involved. The spaces between your ribs, the spot up underneath your jaw. One more. And then knees wide, toes together, fold back. Find the quiet of child's pose. As your hips drop back, let your armpits lengthen. Inch your fingertips forward and settle. This will be exhale. Hands and knees will be inhale, tuck of the toes. Downward facing dog will be exhale. And we return through that. Inhale, hands, knees, and out to child. Hands, knees, down dog. Hands, knees, down dog. And up. And back. Stay in dog. Step your right foot between your hands. Put your left knee down. Put your right armpit into your right knee. Widen your fingers. If you need blocks, use blocks. Let your hips come a little forward and back. Let your hips go a little forward and back. And then with your kneecap coming forward, let your pelvis come forward. Let your heart come forward. Let your gaze come forward. As though someone had a hook in your belly button and they were drawing you forward. And the right knee is over the right heel, and the crease of your hip is a release. Yeah. Ah. Good. Step back to change through dog. So now the right foot finds the floor more fully. The right hand finds the floor more fully because of that crease. Left foot steps up. Right knee comes down. Set your knee into your armpit. And notice when we begin, we're a bit rounded. We're hunched. So if you need to, a block under your left hand. And begin to let your hips come forward and back. A little at a time. Changing the posture of the upper back. The hook in the navel. Drawing you forward, the pubic bone draws forward. Soften the grip of your left hip. And let the heart come forward. As though you were reaching for something. Feel the space of your collarbones broaden. Good, and step back to change. Right foot outside of your right hand, a block under your left, big backward circles, just loosening through the hip and the shoulder, all the way through the heel to the hand. Lots of circles today. And as you keep your right knee bent, just keep your right arm beside your paws, sweep and reach back towards your left heel. Your right thumb points up. Now keep the arms here and let your hips move forward back. Just see what happens. Just see what you can do. So the right hand keeps reaching back. Thumb points up and the hips move forward and back. Feel your left hand on the block. That's it. Good, good, good. Bend your right knee. Right toes turn out. Right hand to right thigh. So send your right thigh away. Go a little deeper if you choose by bringing your left forearm to the block or to the floor. And flatten the back foot. And now send your right knee, right thigh away. Now bring your navel forward. Find that hook in your belly. Bring your heart forward. Open the collarbones and a little bit, where's your back bend? Explore with your chin, explore with your jaw. What can it take? Up and out of the hips. Lengthening through the abdomen. Good. Tuck your chin. Put your hands down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Put your left knee to the floor. Put your left hand to your block. Pivot your left toes out and sweep your right hand over the top. Now find the outside of that posture. Bring your right elbow to your knee. There's your breath out, rounding in, and then opening out for 3. For 2. And 1 more. Send your hips forward. Pivot your left foot towards your hand. And from your right heel, through your right hip, through your right hand, become long. Wriggle your right fingertips, loosen your jaw. Open and close your right hand from a fist to wide open. And then the right hand down. And now in your dog, notice right hand, right hip, right heel. All the space. That suddenly we're reconnected. Suddenly we make sense. The right side of my body makes sense to me. Left foot steps up outside of my left hand. Right hand on a block. Left toes turn out, big back circles just starting out by making momentum. The only way we can begin to make change in our life is to make movement. When we're stuck, nothing can change. So we just find the circle of the shoulder and the circle of the hip. And once we've got some momentum through the body, take your left hand up and back. Left thumb points up, chest broad. Now the hips forward and back as you can. Forward and back as you can. And pausing, left hand reaching back. Hips come forward. Hips come forward. Heart comes up. Bit of a back bend. Broaden your chest by drawing your upper arms apart. Get up under the point of your chin, your mouth. Feel the tongue change. Micro movements, a little forward, a little back. And the left hand comes all the way up and around onto your left thigh. Send the left thigh away, open through the chest. Let the inner edge of your left foot come off the floor. Let your navel open. Let your heart come up. Reconnecting. Access. So come up out of the belly one. And then putting your hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Find the left hand, float the left armpit, and reach the left heel. Right knee comes down, right toes spin out, right hand to a block. Left hand up and over the left foot flat so that we can pause. Work right there, or elbow to knee, tuck your chin. You let your hips fall back as you round in, and you swing your hips forward as you unfold. One more, just rounding, and then releasing. Pivot your right foot closer to your hand. Send your hips forward now, the hook in the navel lifting you up. Finding the back bend, the collarbones broad, wriggle your left fingers. Open and close your right hand. Stand in the left foot. And find the whole front surface of your body is lengthened and anchored. Good. Hand down. Press back. Notice left hand, left hip, left heel. Keep your armpit open and long. Feel the quality of your mind as it settles. We could start to see ourselves more fully. Fold your blanket in half and step your heels onto the blanket and the balls of your feet to the floor. And they are at least 2 fists apart. So one option is hands on blocks. You're going to bend your knees and rest your hands on your blocks, looking forward. Your squat is as deep as your squat is. No force. You're just resting your hips and widen your feet if you need to. A little wider in your feet. Perfect. And then lift your hips and drop your head. So you are simply creating a little bit of a pump. Weight is in the balls of your feet. The next option would be to hold the inner feet with the elbows wide and your knees fit inside your arms. Or you hold the outer ankles. And we're going to go 5. And you're lifting and lowering. When you first start out, moving swiftly just seems nearly impossible. Keep the weight in the balls of your feet. Now pause, hips up, hold your elbows. Made some momentum in the legs. Put a bend in the knees. Bring your knees forward as though they would fit into your armpits. Take your tail back, hugging your knees in a little bit. Knees forward, tail back, balls of the feet on the floor. Feel this lengthen the spine. Now lifting through the heart. Lift the points of your elbows and reach your seat back. Lift your heart. Draw your navel forward, your heart up. Same motion we've made in all our poses. Lift through the heart. You are lifted through the heart until you stand. Heart leads. Stay tall. Stay here. Let it move through you. Call it up, call it through. It's going to be shaky, mighty. This is what we don't want in our way. A little taller, a little wag the tail, shaking it out. A little more. Keep that length. Take your tail back, and your tail back draws your heart forward, and your tail back keeps your heart up, and your elbows are high. And the breath is full into the ribs, and you come down over the thighs, and you drop. Hands to the floor, to the feet, or to the blocks. Bend your knees, find your squat. So lift and lower your pace. How much more easily can you move? How willingly can you rise and fall? Good. 3, 2. We're going to do the whole cycle again. So the hips are up. Hold opposite elbows. Change the cross of your elbows. Be long. Drop your head. Find an effortlessness. Find an effortlessness. A little bit side to side. Bend the knees, tail goes back, heart swings forward. Tail goes back, heart goes forward, elbows go up. You are hooked by the navel. Navel comes forward, heart comes up, hips come up and out. Lead, 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 lead. Now let all that through you, all that through you. The noise, the upheaval, the tumult. Elbows try to widen, hands try to narrow. Keep your toes long, you're on the balls of your feet, and rise. You'll feel the top of your head perhaps become very bright. Hands up, knees soft, widen, fold down the backs of your legs. 3 of those. Unfold, sweep wide. Now spread it all around you. Knees bend, hands wide, fold down. 1 more. And fold down, heels on the blanket, knees soft, fingertips forward. Widen your heels a step. Walk your hands to the right, the way we did before. But now you're a little further in. Hips to the left, drop your head. Finding the outer edge of your left shoulder, drop your head. The outer ribs, the outer hip, the outer heel. Let it go deeper into the left side of your spine, the left kidney, the left lung. Good. Walk your fingertips back to the center. Sit down into your squat. Take your right hand wide and your right palm down. Now the left hand high. Spin your left thumb to point to the right so your palm faces forward. Now turn just your chin to shoulder and to shoulder. 3. Sit the left heel down and reach the left hand up. 2. And the left hand sweeps down, fingertips and hips up. Drop your head. Walk your hands to the left. Walk your hands to the left and your hips to the right, knees bending. So as you bend your knees, you open the valve of that joint rather than locking your knees, which creates a stagnancy. Let your head move, let your knees move, let your hips move. So there are these micro adjustments that are exploring what's caught. coming back into the middle. Sit yourself down inside your knees. Left hand wide, if you can, flat to the floor. Good. Right hand high. Turn your thumb forward and then turn your thumb left. There we go. Chin to your shoulder. Turn down. Chin to your shoulder. Turn up. And that's all. Use the turn of your head to move through the spine. Feel where it's caught. Without gripping in your toes, without gripping in your face, and then just pause. Right heel down allows your right hand high. Open the arm, the fingers, and bring it down. Set your blocks forward, set your palms down, find your dog. And she will be mighty. Let your hips float higher, as though a belt around your waist was being lifted. And it lifts you out of your armpits, and it lifts you right out of your heels. And from there, lengthen into the hands and the feet. Excellent. If that's all the time you have, go to child, pause for 3 breaths, and then turn over, knees bent, spine flat. You are complete. That is a very deep and complete place. Going on, set your blanket aside. Right foot steps up. I'm going to spin so you can see. And the block comes inside your right foot on its edge. Come into your warrior 2. And begin by just floating the hands high and bending the knee. So find the back heel. And from the back heel, find your front knee and take your front knee to the right. So start to open through the inner thigh. One more. Right knee goes right. Turn your palms up. Turn your palms up. Especially the one behind you. And turn your chin to the right. And your left palm open. So that you can feel through the left side of your shoulder, collarbone, chest. And we'll reverse that. Take the back of your left hand down. And your right hand comes up high. Excellent. Right knee stays bent. Sweep through warrior 2. Bend your right hand and reach to the back without touching your thigh. Now return. Hands wide. Warrior 2 and reach back. Straighten your front leg. This is inhale. Warrior 2, reach your right hand back and over the top. This is exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale. Reach back, exhale. Inhale wide. Exhale, reach back. Beautiful. 1 more. And reach back. So keeping your left back of hand there, sweep your right hand down to the block. So take your block outside to the pinky side. And your left hand is palm open and it's open beside your hip and it's not going to move. Raise your right hand high. Good. And then right hand back down. Left hand stays where it is. Reach back, reach back. Keep the left chest open. Again, reach up, look up. And keep reaching into the left fingers. Open the chest. Stay. Now the left hand comes over the top. And back down, look down. 3. Left hand up over the top, looking up. And left hand back, look down. 1 more, just like that. Left hand up over, stay. Now right hand to the shin or to the ankle and revolve. So the legs must firm to find your balance. The low body strong, the upper body open. Fingertips soft in the left hand. Bow the left elbow, bow the left ribs. And then left hand high and down, left knee to the floor. Keep your left toes tucked under. And take your left hand high. Right hand goes to your left thigh. Go up. Now straighten your front leg a little bit. Take yourself back. And bend your right knee a little more. A little bit of a straightening in the right leg. Go up, go back. Come out of the left hip. And bend your knee a little more. Stay. Scissor your thighs. Left hip forward. And then set downward facing dog. Left hand, left hip, left heel. Walk your feet a half step forward. Left hand stays where it is, knees bend. Right hand to your left outer shin. Good. Bend your knees, lift your heels. Lift your heels more. Bend your right knee towards your right armpit and sink your left heel to look up under the left armpit. So left heel back and down. Right knee bending, revolve to look up. Left hand, left hip, left heel. Good. Center. And pause. Float in your dog. The hips float up. The heart floats up. And the hands and the feet float down. Good. Right foot steps up again. And take your block and place it underneath the left thigh. So floating the back of your heel over the ball of your foot, stand your block on its edge. It's on its tallest setting. And you rest your thigh on that block. Beautiful. If you need to, just lift off, adjust yourself, come back down. So my right heel and my right knee are in one line. Hips are square. You may stay right here, or right hand to right thigh, left hand high. Stay right here, or hold opposite elbows. And trust that block. Draw your navel back, draw your ribs back. And trust the block to open the left hip forward, right hip back. Square the hips, square the shoulders, square the elbows, lift the left thigh. A little shimmy, find all the space you can. Ha. Hands wide and down dog. Now notice left hand, left hip. You may rest in child or feet step, half step in, knees bend. You will reach your right hand to your left heel. Hold the outer heel like a ball in a socket. Press the left heel down as you bend the right knee more. Look up under the left shoulder and revolve. Drop your head and look up. Stand in your heel. That's it for 2. Good. And letting go, we all meet in child. Knees wide, toes together, folded back. Put your left hand on top of your right. And center in your dog, in your child, stay as you are. And notice the left side, right side difference. Down dog. It's as though the left side of my body came from someone else. Or maybe the right side of my body came from someone else, but they are not the same just now. Left foot steps up. Block outside the little toe. Warrior 2. And so we rise and fall in and out of the warrior to begin to just open through the hips and find some space in the breath, in the reach of the arms. Notice where it gets caught, where it feels misaligned. Good. Turn your palms open. And again, one more. As you open, keep your hands, palms facing the ceiling. And reach back. So left knee goes left. Left inner thigh grows long. Back of your right hand drops to the back thigh, left hand coming up. Ha. So the left side starts to open. Sweep through warrior two, and the left hand crosses your body to reach the right hand over. Good. Warrior two, inhale. And reverse warrior, exhale. Reach further back, straighten the front leg. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reach across. Inhale, warrior two. And reverse. Both palms facing back. One more. Bend your left knee, arms wide. Cross the body without touching the front thigh. Good. And warrior two. And reach back. Keep the right hand as it is and the left hand down to the block. So your right palm is open to the ceiling. The right collarbones are wide. Left hand to rise. So begin to bring the strength into the legs, into the anchor of your feet, and from there begin to radiate out into your left hand. Your right hand is an anchor. It's bringing you back like your legs, like your feet, and you sweep forward and out. Keep your left hand down, right hand over the top, and back. Looking down when your hand is back, looking up as it comes over. Clearing the windscreen all the way from your heel to your hip to your hand. Keep your right hand over the top, stay. Plug into your left big toe. Finding the legs again, look down, take your left hand to your ankle or to your shin, find your balance. And now soften the right elbow overhead and bow into the right side body. Wriggle your right fingers. And let that anchor your right heel more fully. Right hand high, look down. Right hand down, right knee down. Pause. Right hand high. Keep it all the length you've made. Left hand to the right thigh. Go up. And straighten the front leg a little to drop back. And bend the left knee. And open it. Again, go back a little more. And then bend the left knee a little more and stay. Move through the jaw and the lips and the face. And the right hand can come down. Good. Step back to down dog. Knees soft, hands heavy, balls of your feet heavy, heels light, spine long, tail high. Your feet step a half step forward, knees bend more, heels come high, left hand to your right shin. And send your right outer shin back and bend your left knee more and look up under your right armpit and revolve. Right hand down and away, right hip high. That's it. Drawing on the right shin to turn more fully. Use your hands, use your arms, and center down dog. Rest. Float. So your left foot steps up and you add a block beneath your right thigh. If it needs to be lower, put it on its side. Keep adjusting. You just lift off, square the hips, come back down, find the support. The navel coming forward. The very first standing pose we did with the knee in your armpit, find that navel forward, heart forward. Good. You may work right here. It is a superb place to be, right here. Heel is over the ball of your foot, hips are square. Left hand to thigh, or right hand high, or two hands hold opposite elbows. Now the navel comes back. The right thigh lifts, the heart. So the work is in your legs and the chest softens. Try to widen the arms. And the hands try to narrow the arms. And there's a tremble, there's a shimmy. The nervous system is readjusting. 3, out the jaw, out the right psoas, out the right lung. 2. Oh, and hands come down. And step back, down dog. Wag your tails, let it out. Knees soft, heels high. Knees softer, drop your head. Left hand to your shin or to your outer right heel. Press your heel down. Turn your spine from there. Draw against the left hand. So the left hand is there as a prop, as a support. Use it to revolve, to fit your chin into your armpit, to lift your hips a little higher. And then find center. And then find child. Knees wide, toes together. Take your time. Sit back. It's big work. It's big work. Wag your tail. Right hand onto the left. And pause. And just be heavy and still. Come forward onto your belly. Find your sphinx. Elbows under your shoulders. The hinge of your hips to open. Walk your thighs back by lift it up and reach back. Widening through the front of your pelvis. Wrap your outer hips forward. You can find the outer hips forward. Let your heels widen. And let the outer hips come forward, feeling as though the outer ribs could come forward. Can you keep that and draw your heels towards each other and wrap your inner thighs down? And feel your shoulder blades join towards your spine, but keep your outer hips moving forward, that initial length. So if you need to, collapse, heels widen. Outer hips wrap forward, so there's an inner surge forward towards the heart, but it's soft and it's heavy. So we're going to keep the outer hips wrapping forward, keep the heart moving forward, but gather your heels in, and the big toes into the floor, heels in, outer hips forward, now inner thighs down. And the toes are long, and so there's an action without work in the legs. And that action, the outer hip forward and the inner thigh down, is allowing your navel to rise out of the pelvis and the heart could come through, just like we've done with every pose. Collarbones broad. Use your elbows to widen your heart, and then use your fingertips to draw your navel forward and your heart high. Legs are heavy. You'll keep this length and roll your belly down. Palms down by your ribs. Widen your elbows like you widened your heels, and then gather your elbows in and your heels in and your chin in, and feel that action. And again, look forward, heels wide, elbows wide, collapsing, and then gathering, elbows in, toes in, float your feet. Good, heels wide and feet together. Inhale, opening, exhaling together. So you're doing exactly the same motion that we did when you were rolling your inner thighs down. Your outer hips roll forward when you widen your legs, and then your inner thighs zip together as you bring your feet. Start to feel that integrate outside and inside, front and back. Go 3. And go 2. Legs even straighter. Each time they're apart, they straighten. Zip your feet together, tops of the feet flat, heart comes up. This will be your cobra. Roll down, right arm long, and roll to the right, left knee bends. And then find the center and find your cobra and zip up. And left arm out and roll to the left, right knee bends. Good. Find center, cobra. And now you begin your pace rolling. Oh. Remembering the heels. Remembering the outside of your hips and the inner thighs. And let your legs and your very feet lift your heart. Can you roll in and out of this cobra from the heels? That when we align the bones of our feet, the bones of our legs, that our heart rises high and our collarbones are free. For 2. For 1. Good. Find center, elbows in, hands and knees. Access your blocks, set them in a line on their edge. So you're just going to keep the momentum we've made. You're making a wee wall like that. Palms down. Thighs on the blocks. Tuck of your toes. So one option is that your feet float out, but you don't want to do this. Keep your feet on the floor the whole time. All the motion you've done. Bring your heart to the floor. So tuck your toes under more fully. Feel how your heels want to turn out. Wrap your heels in, just like you did. Wrap your inner thighs down. Palms by your ribs. Elbows wrap in. So press the base of your thumbs and your big toes down, and you will rise up. Elbows wide. Now wrap your elbows into your ribs and roll your heart forward. Elbows widen. Wrap your big toes into the floor, your inner thighs, your inner arms lift you up. Now, elbows down. And rise up. It's the same motion, it's just bigger. From your heels. From your inner thighs. So, if you can get the work into your legs, come onto your fingertips. And the work is in my legs, and I'm spinning my upper arms into my body. 3, 2, up, and pause tall. Base of the big toes, inner thighs. Elbows wrap in, heart comes up. You are lifting your heart up out of that hook of the pelvis. And knees down. Set the blocks forward. Find the forearms, the fingertips drop, your head fits between them. Set your blocks on their belly, your palms on the back. Feel a little more length, a little wag of the tail. One option is to do this twist at hands and knees, which we are familiar with. So if you were to come to hands and knees, you'd set your blocks aside and put your left shoulder down. Or try it out staying in your child's pose. Bring your left shoulder down to the midline of the mat, to the right hand on the block. And keep sitting your hips back. Let the back of your left hand be heavy. And now breathe into the back of the left shoulder blade and drop the left hip. And find a real depth. The muscles that lay against the side of the spine that are underneath your shoulder blade. And center. Arms long. Finding neutral, wag your tail. If you were on hands and knees, then just keep hands and knees to bring your right shoulder to the floor behind the left, or left hand stays on the block. And the right shoulder finds center and you roll the left ribs open. Press the back of the right hand, back of the right forearm to the floor. Start to find your breathing all the way into the backs of your lungs. Fall into the back of your body, fall into the back of your head. And then center. Wherever you've gone, we will meet with one block at the center, palms down. And so you're holding the block between your thumbs. The block is at a right angle ahead of you, palms are down, elbows wrap in. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Good. And just like our dog before, bend your knees, keep your palms down, and child's pose right there. Exhale. Hands, elbows, knees, rising up. Keep your elbows down, lift your hips, lift your knees. Dolphin. And 2 more of those on your own pace, putting your knees down, hips towards child. Keeping your palms down, your thumbs down, your elbows down the whole time. And you return to dolphin and you drop your head. 1 more round at your pace. Taking all the openings higher up into the body, to tops of the shoulders. And once you reach this last dolphin, keep your palms heavy, the base of your knuckles down. Walk your feet a half step in, just like when we turn to hold the shins, bend the knees, float the heels. The elbows are heavy so that the head can float. And just like our Sphinx, imagine drawing the elbows wider to open the collarbones. And now lift the hips up, and the same little back bend we've been feeling, that you could lift the navel and lift the heart, but you're lifting them because the elbows are heavy and the hips are high. That same little back bend we have built the whole time, find it here. Look to your feet, lift your toes, spread the balls of your feet. Spread the little pinky toe, outer hips forward, inner thighs back, just like our Sphinx. Let all the breath possible into this posture. Maybe the heels towards the floor, maybe the hips up high, maybe the armpits open. Good. Good. Knees bend, feet flat. Set your block aside, turn right over onto your back. Knees bent, feet flat. Palms open. Lift your chest, turn your thumbs away, and as you reside, set yourself down on the shoulder blades so the shoulders are tucked under you. And allow your body ease. Tap your feet, this will anchor you. Tap your heels, tap your feet, tap your heels, wag your tail. And you'll feel the legs grow heavy, and they'll do their job of becoming an anchor. Tap your heels, tap your feet, remember the ground. And as you remember the ground, the navel will open. The chest will become more spacious. When we're afraid, upset, in turmoil, our heart tries to be our ground. Put the ground under your feet and let your heart be free. When you get lost, when you get upset, tap your feet. Turn your left palm down beside your left hip, right hand overhead, right palm to see the ceiling. Reach those a little bit apart. Left fingers reaching towards your heel, right hand reaching overhead. As you bring your right palm down, look to the left and open the right side of your neck and throat. Left hand overhead, look center. Press your right palm down. Reach your right hand towards your heel. Reach your left hand a little further out of the shoulder. Left hand down, look right. Walk your heels under your knees. Stand in your feet, lift your hips, right hand overhead. Inhaling up. Right hand down, hips down, look left. Left hand up, hips up, look center. Left hand down, look right. And continue lifting up. Pressing the left hand down to roll down to look to the left. Press the right hand and lift the left, lift the hips. And roll down looking right. One more each side. And look left. Good. Stand in your heels, 2 hands up, lift your hips, tuck a shoulder, tuck another, bring your elbows down only, fingers point to the ceiling. Stand in your heels. Rest in your heels, rest in your elbows, rest in your shoulders. Rest in the back of your head and let your hips and navel float. Give them permission. Outer hips coming forward, inner thighs dropping down. This is the same hip heart posture as Sphinx. Can you feel that? They all work together. And roll down, roll down, roll down, roll down. Turn your palms open. Turn your heels wide, your toes in, and pause. Let your breathing become smooth. Let it fill your belly. And you may find 2 or 3 larger, even shakier breaths than you expected when you breathe into the belly here. That shakiness is nothing to do with your anatomy or your respiration. That is mind stuff. That is memory and past experience that the mind has not processed. Smooth it out of your body with your breathing. And feel the change in your mind as a result. And draw your right knee into your chest, interlace your fingers, keep it close. That you could rinse out. Interlace your fingers, not over the shin, but behind the thigh. So drawing your right thigh close, flattening the upper back, lengthening the back of the neck. You'll flex your right foot and press your right heel high. This will straighten your arms. Good. Straighten your left leg and press into your heels and let the strength of your long open arms open the back of your neck, the tops of your shoulders, all the way to the tips of your toes. On the exhale, you bend your right knee to your chest, elbows wide, pull it in. Exhale, rinse it out, and then inhale, straighten and press the right heel high. 5 of those. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. We're emptying the mind. Reach into the feet and empty the mind. And then pause. The next time you bend your knees, slide your hands lower, down around the outer edge of your right hip. And then when you press your heel high, stay. And it's as though you would send your right hip forward now. Sit in the basket of your hands. Let your left thigh be heavy. Let the elbows open. Let the base of your skull widen. Get your breath up into the very backs of your lungs and the tops of your lungs and sit in your hands. Bend your left knee. Bend your right knee. Put your right hand on your right inner thigh and open wide. Left hand on the left thigh and just press your right heel out wide. You may hold the inner thigh. You may hold your inner foot just for a beat. working the legs here on our back, we are establishing our anchor line, so when we stand back up in the world, it's clear from the heart to the feet. Bend your knees, put your feet flat, and now interlace the fingers over the left shin and bring it in. Feel the weight of your right heel on the floor, your hips, your shoulders, the back of your head. Return to the stability, the gravity that holds you. Interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. This will be exhale. Right leg straightens out, opening the front of the right thigh, right hip, and then pressing into the left heel high. This will be inhale, arms straight, and then bend the knee, bring it in. Inhaling up, open the arms, exhale, flush out the belly. And again. One more, just like that. Reach into both heels, right leg is long. As you bend your left knee, take your hands lower around your outer left hip as you can, and press your left heel high. Sit into your hands. Open the elbows. Feel the arms in this traction. Loosen the jaw. The tops of the shoulders, the back of the neck. Right thigh heavy. Space between your toes. Bend the left knee. Bend the right knee. Left hand holds your left inner thigh. Right hand rests on your right thigh, press away. So the left knee can drop open and you can press into the left heel or hold the inner foot. Into the center, right ankle crosses over the left knee, right hand on the right thigh, let it wash side to side. Keep sending your right thigh away. So as much as we just folded the right hip crease, now imagine you could open that space, making length between your pelvis and your right thigh. Which means softening the grip of your right hip. Move your right toes. And just change sides. Right foot down. Left ankle over the right knee. Left hand to the left thigh. Press away. Move your left toes. Soften the hold of your left hip so that you start to feel there is a space. There is a space between the left thigh bone, the femur, the head of the femur, and the hip socket of your pelvis. And all the ways that you hold on to that go all the way up to your shoulder and your jaw. Can't avoid the love. Good. And center. Hold your shins, roll yourself up, and sweep your feet wide. Sit on the edge of your blanket. Heels down, toes up, knees soft. If you need to, pop a block under your knees so that you can just reach out side to side. Good. And you'll find the center, just find your fingertips. And then find your palms. If you need to, use the blocks, little side to side, little side to side. So the hook is in my navel, drawing me up and out of my pelvis. My heart is broad, my legs are strong. The work of our life is in the low body. They are dents made with bone and muscle and sinew. Our mobility, our movement. Into the abdomen we are fluid, we are digestion, we are change. Into the chest there is space, air, breath, inspiration, opportunity, light. So the work of our life is misplaced if it is in the heart. Let the legs be strong and certain. And from there rise up, crossing right shin in front of left, still seated on the edge of your blanket. Hold opposite elbows overhead, give it a little shimmy. And move side to side. Gathering your energy and your attention into the body, into the spine. Right hand down, left hand overhead. So then you bring your right elbow down toward the floor. As you straighten your arm, bring your left elbow down the left ribs. Reach overhead, bend your right elbow. Good. Straighten the arm. Bend your elbow, look down, reach over. And straightening out, look left. Now keep your left hand extended. Bend your right elbow. And then straighten. Aha. And bend. And straighten. Good. As you bend, look up. And then look down. That the movement becomes more subtle and more important. Keep your chin moving. Feel it all the way through the lining of your chest, the space between your ribs and your lung. Good. As you sit up, left leg straightens, right knee bends. Put your right foot flat, put your left heel out. Take all the length you made and wrap it around the front of the right shin. And turn. Stand in your right foot. Stand in your left foot. Your legs do the work. Feel the fluidity of the guts. How all those inner organs are spongy and require this turn. Breathe into the belly. Churn that up. Move that space of the belly. Inhaling, the belly fills, and then exhaling, navel to spine. And then left shin crosses in front of right, hands up high, hold opposite elbows, get a little taller. A little taller. So that you can take that length with you, hand to the floor, and reach out. Yeah. Now, can you find the space behind your heart? Can you use the mobility and the solidity of your legs and your hips and anchor into the floor? Now keep the left hand down and the right hand over. Bend your left elbow. Straightening the left arm, elbow to rib, look up. And then reaching over, bend your elbow down. Now can you find the space, the air of the chest, the space between the ribs, and keeping your right arm over, your left elbow bent. Good, just the turn of your chin. So that the space of your chest becomes a space of mind between your thoughts. Look up, be still. Soften the jaw, the belly. The right arm long, the right hip heavy. To sit up tall, the right leg straightens, the left knee bends. Wrap to the left and sit tall. So stand in both feet. Use the bones of the legs. And breathe into the guts, the digestion, the filtration, the transformation. Breathe into your belly and feel it fill, and then feel it empty, navel turning to the left. Turning center, staff pose. Bend your right knee, turn to the right. Softly. Let go, staff pose. Inhale, bend your left knee, turn left. Exhale. Inhale, center. X to the right. In center. X to the left. Loosen it. Loosen your lips, loosen your jaw. Close your eyes, the hint of a smile right here. Just starting to find the space, the swing of your arms. The fire of your solar plexus, the space of your lungs, the swing of your arms, the ease of your words. 3. 2. Anything you carried, anything you've held, swing it out. Good. So that you find staff pose, sitting tall, hands high. Draw your heels towards you. Your knees lift so slightly. Your knees about the height of your toes. Hinge forward. And then inhale, upright. We come up. Exhale, hinge forward, tail back. And up. Out the mouth now. Go. Inhale, 3. Exhale, into the belly. 2. Exhale, folding. Upright, cross your legs. Good. And palms together, sitting tall. Fingertips to your shoulders. Chest is broad. Elbows wide and high. Good. Feel that space. Don't change your upper arms. Bring your wrists over your elbows. Make a right angle. And bring your thumb and first fingertips to touch. Elbows back. And let your breath be full into that space. Feel this space. Feel this space. Feel into the tips of your elbows. Tuck of the chin, back of the neck long. Fill your ribs on the inhale. Empty your navel on the exhale. It gets bigger. Wherever it begins to build and create pressure, meet that with the exhalation and make ease. So that the pressure is released and the charge of the pressure becomes light. Release your thumb, first fingertips, so your palms simply face you. Thumbs pointing back. Heart up, chin in, thumbs point back. Elbows are the height of your shoulders. It's mighty here. A softening at the base of your neck, a light at the base of your throat, a light in the palms of your hands. You are holding a great frame of light around your head. And it is building. You feel the space between your palms. You feel the space around your head held in light, held in more light. Your upper back is soft and wide. Your anchor is your seat. Anchor into the low body. Soften the transformational space of your gut, your viscera, your inner organs, and let your heart be spacious. Nothing to change but turn your palms to face forward. Now turn your palms to face away. Now fill the room around you with light. Fill the lives around yours with light. Fill the conversations of your life with light. Fill the choices of your life with light. Soften the shoulders, soften the neck, soften the back. Soften the palms and let the light absolutely shake you. The legs may tremble, the breath may tremble. Fill the space, the room with light. Fill the building with light. Fill the city block with light. And keep that expanse and simply put the backs of your hands to your thighs. Stay expansive. And stay anchored. The legs are heavy, bone and muscle. How expansive you are, how important you are. Keep softening the shoulders. Wriggle the very fingertips. And the backs of the hands settle to the thighs, the spine tall. The fingers are soft and the fingertips don't touch anything at all. Bring your attention to your thumbs. And move them very slightly. Let your thumbs be warm, heavy, throbbing with life. All your attention in your thumbs. Move them a little. All your attention. And then just be still. Feel. Bring your attention into your first fingers. They're warm and heavy, pulsing with life. Let them move very slightly so you can feel your utmost attention in your first finger. And let them be still. Your attention in your middle fingers, bright, warm, heavy, pulsing with life. Let them move. So slightly, and in the moving they hold your attention. And be still. And the ring fingers, bright, warm and heavy. Let your ring fingers move so slightly. Give them your utmost attention. Feel them. And be still. Be aware of your pinky fingers. Warm and bright and heavy. And then move. And in the movement, give them all your attention. More. And be still. The thumb and the fingertips. Thumb and the first fingertip touch. Feel the contact. And feel the space, that circle that they create, that the thumb and the first fingertip touch. And there is a space, a circle, an emptiness. Feel that release your thumb and first finger. Palms down. If you like, stay. If you like, unfold. The next 4 minutes are your choice. Settling in, the first few breaths are full. The body at ease. Deepening your breathing. Grateful for your efforts. Before you go anywhere, pausing, deepening your breathing, and in that gratitude for the effort that brought you such ease. Grateful for the quiet and the stillness that holds you well. Grateful for the day ahead of you, for the day you've had so far. Hands overhead, reach into it all. Our life is a gift. Gather yourself to your right side. If you're upright, moving side to side. If you have time and the inclination, stay longer. And as you return, sitting tall, taking your time, whenever the time is right, and there is a conclusion in your breathing, an arrival in your body, sweep wide and gather it in. And bring your palms together. Thumbs to the forehead center. And 3 times our Om. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste.
Namaste.
Happy Saturday. Replay it, use it well, especially if you're traveling. Know this state, know that you can come back to it, that you constructed it, that it's not passing, that this is not chance. You made this fortification of quiet. Take it with you, build it again. I'll see you soon.